Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Co-creating at its best, really. You are knowing what you are wanting. Moves about, doesn't it? Constant expansion of desire, yes? You like the feeling of desire? Easily fulfilled desire. Love that. When I want something I know I can get, really good. What about those desires that you haven't figured out where they will come from or when they will come or how they will come? How do you feel about those desires? We want you to come round to our understanding, sooner the better for you, to the place where you understand that every desire that is hatched from your awareness of this life is not just possible, it is probable. It's not just probable, it is vibrationally already done. Because when you give birth to an idea of a desire, that idea is a vibration that has the power to summon all of the elements to bring it to the fruition that you have imagined. In other words, when you imagine something, when you desire something, you don't imagine it as a vibrational blob. You don't imagine it as a vibrational frequency. You don't imagine it as a tone that emanates, that law of attraction surrounds. You imagine it in your life. You imagine it in your life, and you imagine you in the middle of it. So when your life lets you know what you don't want, an equal, proportionate, and opposite awareness of what you do want is launched or hatched or given birth to. We call it your rocket of desire, and it holds the components for the full actualization of whatever it is you are desiring with you right in the middle of it. In other words, this is not lightweight stuff you're doing as you are sifting through data and coming to conclusions about what would be better. The entire universe is based upon this principle of expansion, and you are leading edge creators right in the middle of the most dynamic expansion that is happening anywhere in the universe, anywhere in the all that isness of all that is. So when life causes you to know what you don't want and therefore know what you do want, you send forth a vibrational request that is so vivid and complete and dovetails so completely with requests that you have sent before that there is a reality that has already amassed. Now, in your physical form, you often say, I don't see this reality, therefore it must not exist. And we say, you can't see it yet with your eyes, you can't hear it yet with your ears, you can't smell it yet with your nose. Your physical indicators or translators of vibration are not yet viewing this vibrational reality, but your emotional sensors can feel it, and the source within you knows it and is being it. So when we say to you, you're launching rockets, and those rockets are being amassed in what we have called your vibrational reality or your vibrational escrow, we are today calling it your vortex of creation, but it does not matter what the name of it is. The larger part of you is smack dab in the middle of it. Law of attraction has already amassed all of the cooperative components, and it is a reality that we refer to in present tense. It's done. Your dream is done, and if you would know it as we know it, in that knowledge you harbor no resistance that prevents it from coming right now. The only thing that keeps your dream from manifesting so that you and others can see it in your reality that you call reality is because you've got a resistance to your vibrational reality. In short, you don't believe it. Or in short, you haven't practiced it long enough. Or in short, and really what's going on for most of you, you are so enamored with the reality that is manifested. Oh, have you seen what you do? You talk about it incessantly. You take snapshots of it constantly. The digital camera has not helped. You email the pictures to everyone. You write documents. You blog about it. You make historical monuments. You pick the worst things that have ever happened and make big hairy deals of them. And when new generations are born who have nothing to do with them, who want nothing to do with them, you sit them down and march them through the history of your broken world. Oh, you give them some of the good stuff too, but not very much. Mostly, you tell them about plights and bad stuff because you want them never to forget, and we want them never to remember. We want you to pay little attention to your now reality that has gone awry and sift through your now reality for things that feel good to you, because when you find things in your now reality that feel good to you, you activate a vibration that allows the good things in your vibrational reality to come to you. So we want to convince you here today, and of course we know that convincing is an odd word. It's not even really a word that has any true meaning, because there's no convincing anyone of anything. We can know, and we do, all there is to know about universal forces and law of attraction and the creative genius that is you. We can know, we hold firmly the knowledge of your value and worthiness. We know it, but us knowing it doesn't make you know it. If you're not in the vibrational vicinity of what we know, you can't get a glimpse of it. You can't feel it. In fact, sometimes when we know your value and worthiness in the way that we know it, when we feel our love and appreciation for your willingness to participate in this leading edge contrasting experience which gives birth to the expansion of the universe, when we know you as we know you, you don't necessarily know you as we know you. You can't, because words don't teach. It's only life experience that teaches. And so our desire is that we can speak enough words through the interpretation of Esther here today, that we can strike enough vibrational chords with you, and that we can find you often enough in the vibrational vicinity of what we know, that you'll begin to catch more and more glimpses of who you really are and how this all works. We want you to feel the ease of creation, but most of all, what we want for you is that you will let go of the resistance that is preventing you from the abundance on so many subjects that you desire. We have the benefit of seeing what's in your vibrational escrow, and oh, is it magnificent. And as we see what's in your vibrational escrow, or your vibrational reality in this vortex of creation that we are referring to as present tense, as we see it and know it, we feel such utter appreciation for your working to give birth to it. In other words, we know you're out here on the leading, we call it leading, you call it bleeding, out here on the leading edge, where life causes you to come to determinations of what you want. You don't even have to speak it out loud. You don't have to pray about it. You don't have to speak about it. You don't have to write a goal about it. Life causes you to put it there. And we're here to tell you it's there. It's there and it's done. And you'd have the results of it, the manifestational indicators. You'd have the real life proof of what you've created if you would stop thinking the thoughts that hold you in resistance to it. In other words, I really would like more money. It's done, but I'm so tired of not having enough money. You're not letting it in. Oh, I really need more money. It's done. I'm afraid of my financial situation. You're not letting it in. I really want more money. It's done, and it's a lot. You've been asking a lot. But the retailers are charging so much for things, I think it is outrageous what they want for that. You're not letting it in. I really want that beautiful such and such. It's done, but what would my mother think? What would my neighbor think? How can I justify that? That is wasteful. You're not letting it in. You have picked up along your physical trail so many habits of thoughts, that's what a belief is, that you are, most of you, veritable harborers of resistance to the very thing that you have become. And you know how you know when you are harboring resistance to the very thing that you have become? You feel the tug of war in not letting yourself be it, and that's what negative emotion is. When you've become abundant because life has caused you to ask for it, and you are beating the drum of not having enough money, and you feel anger or desperation or discouragement, those negative emotions are your indicator that you are in the moment offering resistance, and you are the only reason that the money isn't coming. It's not the economy. It's not because of reality TV taking all the jobs. It's not because you are cursed. It's not because you are inappropriate. It's because you have an active thought that contradicts the active thought in your vortex of creation. Now hear that. Active thought, active thought. If your life had not caused you to put an active thought in this reality that we are speaking of in present tense, hear us, it's done. If your life had not caused you to put it there, your resistance would not exist. Resistance only exists when you ask for something that you don't let yourself go to. In other words, resistance is an inside job. It's a personal thing. It has nothing to do with anyone or anything else on the planet. It's just you, the larger part of you, went someplace that the physical part of you isn't going, because you're stubbornly holding to bogus beliefs that are keeping you from the expansion that your life has inspired. You're sort of kind of getting this? So, before you came into this body, you were source energy. Do you believe that? Or do you think that you just sort of, Jerry and Esther put a water feature in Texas, and the next day there were frogs. And Esther said there must have been frog seeds in the bottoms, and when the water hit it, there they were. In other words, there weren't frogs till there was water, and then there were frogs. What's up with that? And we say, when you understand that you were source energy before you came forth into this physical body, you had already begun, you are an eternal being, and as you set forth some of your consciousness here into the personality that you know as you, the larger part of you remains in non-physical. That's something that most physical beings don't get. You think you're dead or alive. You ask questions like, will I come back again? Like you're not still already non-physically focused? The larger part of you is non-physical energy, the soul or source. Source. Think about what source means. If your source came here with you, there would be no source. Source remains non-physically focused. The larger part of you remains non-physically focused. And so here you are, sifting, deciding, and asking. And when you ask, immediately, the larger non-physical part of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you have asked for. Melding this new request, adding this amendment to the becoming of you. So when your life causes you to become, now there's the potential of resistance, because the physical you might not be ready to go. In fact, usually isn't. You're usually still beating the drum of why you wanted it, justifying why you wanted it, defending why you wanted it, complaining about not having it, frustrated about not having it, jealous of those who already do have it, picking on yourself about not being better at it. So as you hold yourself in these resistant thoughts, even though the larger part of you became it, as you beat the drum of not being able to see it yet, you hold yourself in resistance. So did you get that very important point? You would not feel negative emotion ever if you hadn't expanded beyond where you're letting yourself go. And that's what resistance is. Resistance is, I became more and didn't let myself go. A woman said to us one day, Abraham, it's not fair. I'm pretty positive. It was obvious by the frown on her face. But relatively speaking, she was relatively positive compared to her friend that she was pointing out. I have a friend who is so negative, complains about everything, and my friend is healthy and I am sick. What's up with that? And we said, everything that you feel is about the vibrational relationship between who you have become vibrationally and who you are allowing yourself to be in your physical form. If your friend has not asked for something and is being something different than what she did not ask for, did you hear that? If your friend didn't ask for it, and so she's being something different than that she did not ask for, then there's no resistance. But if you ask for something and you're being different from what you ask for, resistance. Sort of get it? If someone called you on the phone and said, hello, you don't know me. I'm just calling to tell you that I will never call you again. You would say, thanks for letting me know. But you wouldn't feel upset about it. But if someone you care about called and said, hello, you used to be the love of my life, and I'm calling to tell you that I'm never going to have contact with you again, you would feel something large, because your desire and this awareness are vibrationally worlds apart. So what we really want you to hear is, if your life has not caused you to expand, then you would have no need to keep up with the expansion. But when your life does cause you to expand, it's important for you to keep up with it. And do you know why people decline as they move through time? It's not the moving through time, because you have the ability to have renewal constantly. Your cells are renewing themselves. You have the ability to have constant renewal.